past year and a half, I have listened to my son referred to as nothing more than JDM. Initials, letters, characters with no meaning, history, or proof of life. Jack Dyer McDonough was a real person with hopes and dreams for the future, and Jack's life mattered to me and many others. Jack was a son, a grandson, a brother, a nephew, a great-nephew, and a friend to many. He was a gifted artist, a violin player, an athlete, a hunter, and an angler. He also enjoyed playing video games, listening to music, and working on cars with his friends and stepfather. Jack was sensitive, wise beyond his barely 18 years of age, caring, goofy, funny, witty, hopeful, excited for the future, and loyal to his friends and family. Jack would give the shirt off of his back to anyone who needed it and was never afraid to voice his opinion, whether it was popular or not. Jack did not conform to society standards. Jack was my only child. My everything and my life was dedicated to him. From walks at the wildlife sanctuary to coaching his middle school basketball team, going to movies, to having friends sleep over on weekends, to water park getaways, volunteering at Happily Ever After, walking dogs, and driving Jack and his friends to dances. I cherished every moment of our time. Since Jack has passed away, my life has become empty and meaningless. It is no longer filled with laughter, joy, hope, or a sense of purpose. Anytime I begin to feel the slightest bit of happiness, I remember that Jack is gone, and that feeling disappears. Any accomplishment brings little fulfillment. Any relationship I have is damaged, as I can no longer be the outgoing, caring, involved, capable person I was prior to Jack's death. Any future I once had is gone, and dreams for my son are shattered. I will never see Jack graduate high school or college. I will never see him marry.
For allowing me to speak my piece. And I want to now sincerely apologize for the damage I've caused to our community and the pain I've inflicted. I know no words can fix what I've done. I'm sorry. But I could not come up here today without expressing how remorseful I am. I'm not speaking here today out of self-pity, nor am I asking for sympathy, because I know I'm not the one who deserves it. I'm speaking today to ensure you that I will do everything and anything to change, not only for me and my family, but for our community. I'm committed to being a valuable member of our society, and I understand the seriousness of what I've done, and I understand there will be consequences for my actions, and I will accept those. And I will only use my time productively. I will participate in any services or any treatment that I'm provided with, as well as continue my education, because I only want to grow. There's no exception from our recklessness, and I promise that you will never see this behavior from me again. This is not who I am or who I want to be. I want to give to other inmates so they can as well conduct themselves out in society. I want to help other people and give back to the community, because that's all what you deserve. And again, I am terribly sorry. There's not a day that goes by that I do not think about what I've done and what I could possibly do to restore what I've broken. And I hope sooner than later that the families affected can heal and find peace again. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a case where I think if you picked up one of these firearms pictured in the exhibits here, you would never intentionally fire it at somebody to kill somebody. But the conduct that you were participating in this case, the repetitive drug trafficking, the amount of substance that you had, how nasty these substances are that you were trafficking, that killing someone at some point was an absolute certainty that was going to happen. And then that's exactly what did happen. Because this specific substance and substances that are similar to it are so deadly to the users, and not to mention young users who don't really have any idea what they're doing or what they're getting into when they start using them. In this case, the pre-sentence investigation is recommending 6 to 8 years of initial confinement plus 5 to 6 years of extended supervision. The state is recommending 10 years of initial confinement plus 10 years of extended supervision. The defense pre-sentence investigation recommended 10 years of probation with basically time served of the 19 months that she's served. And then alternatively, if the court believed that a prison sentence was necessary, to not exceed 5 years initial confinement plus 10 years of extended supervision. This is a prison case. This is not a probation case. Even if we eliminate the fatality part of this case and just have the drug trafficking here for a sentencing, it's a prison case. I mean, this is a lot of drug trafficking, a very huge amount of drugs that we're talking about, cash, and then the photographs depicting the firearms as well. What sticks out immediately is that you are very young. You're not even an adult here today sitting in court. You're 17 years old. I think when you were arrested, you were even 15 years old. You are presently in high school, or you would be in high school if you were not in custody. You do have a minor employment history that's basically consistent with somebody who was your age. You're continuing to take advantage of school services that are offered to you at the jail. There's no prior record. You are taking responsibility for the offenses here today after pleading no contest and making a statement that you are accepting that responsibility even here today, and even pleading no contest to some very serious charges and avoiding to have a trial on the issue as well. Based on everything that's been presented, I do think that you are remorseful for what happened in this case, and then there has been evidence presented that you did not have a very good family situation growing up, you did not have a very good family support structure, and that you did experience childhood trauma and exposure to drugs yourself when you were very young, and the list of substances that you self-reported using is a very shocking list of substances that basically included everything that you can possibly think of having used in the past at your age. So it is a very shocking to the senses type case. The mother of the victim, Jack, did testify here today, and it'd be hard to visualize somebody articulating the negative impact of drug trafficking in the community better than Jack's mother did here today. And you can just hear the pain and sorrow in her voice and see it on her face. The just substantial negative impact that drug trafficking has on the community as a whole, particularly when it kills somebody and that person is basically taken off the face of the earth forever. He's never going to have contact with his grandparents again, like they pointed out, and the mother is robbed of having that relationship and having the experiences and going through life achievements with her child, like she testified to, and just that emptiness and meaninglessness that she feels, loss of happiness, loss of joy, loss of purpose. And then even after all of those emotions that she told us about, she was even able to express that she had forgiveness for you as well at the end. The nature of the offense, like I'm getting at, is enormous in this case. There are a lot of aggravating factors that have been identified here today. The great number of transactions that took place in this case, the targeting and distribution of young people in a school in this case. So this is certainly not an isolated case. This is a case of drug trafficking, and then at some point admitting that you knew that it was a deadly substance, and admitting that you did want to make money off of participating in the drug trafficking. The items found in your bedroom corroborated the aggravated nature of this case with the massive number of pills that were found and the very large amount of cash that's kind of highlighted by some of these photographs. I mean, there's possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars that are depicted in some of these photographs, and in one of them it's almost like somebody is bathing in the cash. Drugs, a large amount of cash, and firearms coming together make for a very dangerous, volatile situation, and the point of that is that you can't rely on law enforcement to protect your business that you're participating in the drug trafficking, because it's inherently illegal. So guns have to be brought into it too, because that's how you protect your business assets, because you're having possession of thousands and thousands, like I said, possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of product that you're in possession of. In terms of the drug task force aspect of this, I get the argument that she could have been arrested after one buy, but first of all, there's no guarantee that she would have sat in jail after that one buy, particularly if it was a juvenile case. She might have just been released back into the community after one isolated buy. But what the drug task force did is that they did build a case, which now gives us a full picture of what you were participating in. If they arrested you after that first delivery, we wouldn't have most of the information that we have here today, that this is an enormous drug trafficking organization that was being participated in here by Ms. Sotelo. So it does make total sense to the court why you develop that. You get to try to get to the highest point of the drug trafficking organization, and because of developing that investigation, that's you. You're in possession of this huge amount of controlled substance. I also do think there's value in comparing sentences with other individuals charged with similar crimes, convicted of similar crimes, for the purpose of sentence consistency with similar type offenses. But at the end of the day, this is a sentencing about Ms. Sotelo, and the court balancing the factors that have been presented to it according to the Galleon sentencing factors that the Supreme Court outlined for us. When I consider all of these factors, I do think that a prison sentence is necessary. Like I said, I do think it has to be a long prison sentence as well to highlight the significant nature of the offense. I am going to sentence you to what the state's recommending, 10 years of initial confinement plus 10 years of extended supervision. That would be on the 2 Class C felonies concurrent. On the Class E felony, it'll be 5 years of extended supervision, or 5 years of initial confinement plus 5 years of extended supervision concurrent. Compass evaluation, AODA assessment, follow through with all treatment recommendations. I will order the asset forfeiture. High school equivalency degree or GED obtained during the supervision. Full-time employment or school, you do have to pay the court costs. Restitution right now will be set at the stipulated $15,154.81. The defense can ask for a restitution hearing on the remaining request. If no restitution hearing is requested, then the remaining amount would be ordered. You do have to provide a DNA sample to the Department of Corrections as well. Anything to clarify from the state?
No, with the stipulation on the $15,000, the family needs to move on, Your Honor. They're not going to ask for the rest of the money.
Okay, so then the $15,154.81 will be the final restitution order then on that basis.
Thank you.
550 days credit on 23 CF 42. 577 days credit on 23 CF 2236. Did I say the numbers correctly? 550 and 577?
Yes.
Okay. I will make you eligible for any prison programming. The Department of Corrections does make their own independent decision on what you qualify for. I will require you to serve 3 years of the 8 years before you can participate in any programming, though.
Your Honor, so the way that you have structured the sentence, she would not be eligible for programming.
Okay.
Would you consider 5 years on each case consecutive so that she would have to serve that initial 5 years and then she'd have to serve another 2 years before she'd even be eligible for programming?
Okay, so you're saying if by doing 10 plus 10 concurrent on each case,
You were making her ineligible.
is it because the first degree reckless homicide is not eligible?
Yes.
Okay.
But if you did 5 years initial confinement, 5 years extended supervision on each case consecutive to each other, she'd have to serve that full 5 years because that's not eligible. And then if you're saying she has to serve 3 years in the next sentence, she'd have to do that.
That would be consistent with what I just suggested
It would.
about the minimum 3 years, and this way it'd be a minimum of 5 years instead of 3.
Correct.
So I think I am going to modify it to that. So the total sentence will still be 10 years initial confinement plus 10 years of extended supervision. However, it's going to be 5 plus 5 on the first degree reckless homicide charge consecutive, 5 plus 5 on the Class C felony and 23 CF 2236, 5 plus 5 consecutive. On the Class E felony, 5 plus 5 concurrent. Does that accomplish what we're doing?
I think so, but we are asking for 30 days on the credit then, because with consecutive, I don't know that she's entitled to all that credit. We can have 30 days.
Okay.
I can give you independent credit.
Once I issue the sentence today, though, it's final.
Right.
So if the credit is wrong, we're stuck with what I just
So
issued
we'd
today.
rather do 30 days.
We're not stuck with it. The Department of Corrections will send us a lovely letter that says you have miscalculated the credit, please change it.
Well, I mean, I can't change my sentence, though. The actual sentence structure we picked after today. Understood?
Understood.
Okay. Anything to clarify on that from the state?
No, just that we can have 30 days on the credit.
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
thank you.
Attorney, well, you do have the right to seek post-conviction relief, including assistance to the public defender's office. Anything else to clarify, Attorney Fritz? Okay, then that concludes the sentence.